The crazy milestone we were able to hit is $10,000 cash collected in a single month. Honestly, I felt lost as a person, and every day I was finding myself asking the Lord, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? I didn't even realize I hit $10,000 a month until I hopped on a call with you. And when I pressed pay invoice, I told myself this is the last time I will ever think about it. It's like 20 voices trying to tell you
Yeah.
20 different things. Like, of course, that's never going to give you clarity. I'm done doing business. I'll go be an employee for the rest of my life.
Okay, so what's up, man? For everyone watching, brother, sister, this is Karo, and we've been working together not for so long because like it's been what, like 2 months. Uh,
Yeah, something like that.
we've been able to hit fucking crazy milestone in the first 30 days of actually running acquisition. So, Karo, please tell everyone what milestone we are able to hit in the first 30 days of running acquisition.
Hey guys, like Serge said, my name's Karo, and the crazy milestone we were able to hit is $10,000 cash collected in a single month.
Yeah,
And that's a goal that I wanted to hit, but until I met Serge, I didn't truly believe that I would ever hit it.
yeah,
And it's been amazing. I didn't even realize I hit $10,000 a month until I hopped on a call with you and we were just going over the numbers and you paused. You're like, wait, we're at 10.2K for the month. And I was like,
yeah,
you remember that? Like I couldn't even believe it. Like I didn't even realize it myself because I was just able to focus so much more on my work. The
yeah,
the $10,000 didn't just become a milestone. It became one step on a long path of the way to financial freedom, for myself, my business, my family that I want to start. So
yeah.
it's been amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And like also, we hit 10.2K in the first 30 days of running acquisition. Meaning like right now we are also not talking about, for example, a deal you closed 2 days ago for like, four
Yeah.
figures, whatever. But what also specific AI agency are you right now running? Like for who it is for, what are you doing? Yeah.
So I'm basically running an agency right now for automotive shops, whether it be shops that focus purely on cosmetic, engine or transmission repairs, or full-on collision damage. We pretty much work with everyone. And working with you, I was not only able to acquire more customers, but I was able to give them a much better experience and a much more professional white glove experience, which was my goal. When we first hopped on a call and we discussed our goals, I truly wanted to provide a premium experience for my clients, and I'm able to do that now without a lot of the headaches that come with it too. So we've been able to get all of our customers some great numbers, great results, and I don't know. It's just truly a blessing to be able
Yeah.
to do that.
Man, boom. 10K in 30 days, in the first 30 days of running acquisition. Like, it is like, firstly, I'm so proud of you, man. But like, it is
Thank you, sir.
genuinely life-changing result, the first 10K. But like, we're also going to dive deeper into like your journey specifically. But like, firstly, how does it feel to have this number, like the first 10K under your belt?
I don't even know how to describe the feeling, of this pure, I don't, it's like pure joy, but
Yeah,
with joy comes this sense of like radiating excitement, but I just feel so content. I just feel so at peace hitting that number. It wasn't even a thing of like, oh, it's time to celebrate. It was just finally the life I'm looking at is finally reflecting how I feel inside. And
yeah,
my life is starting to reflect the goals that I set out for myself earlier this year. So I feel a lot more tranquil with myself. It's not necessarily, obviously, there's that part of it too where, I got super happy. I
yeah.
went to Vegas. We had
Of
fun in
course, man.
Vegas
Yeah.
too. But it was just this feeling of like, I got this. We got this. Like,
And also, Carol,
amazing
like,
feeling.
let's rewind a little bit because, like, I feel like also this is the part a lot of like right now brothers and sisters watching this video can like relate to actually. Like before we started, you were at a point where before you joined me, like you felt completely lost, you said. So like
Yeah.
take us back to this emotional low moment of like this, rock bottom. Like, what did for you specifically being lost meant in like your day-to-day life? Like, how did it look like, and like in your business? How was it?
Honestly, it wasn't just feeling lost in the business. I think I was having identity crisis when we first met. The context purely before we met was that whole week I had been looking for answers, not just on YouTube and Instagram or wherever you would find gurus. But honestly, I felt lost as a person, And every day I was finding myself asking the Lord, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? It didn't feel right, It felt weird. There's this weird energy coming from the work I was doing, and just who I was as a person. And then I don't even remember specifically what video it was of yours that I found, but I started watching more and more and more, and suddenly it was like I felt this little like light flicker on in my head. It's like, is this the guy I need to talk to? And then it was probably 3 days of me sulking around the house. Like, obviously, I was doing my work, talking to my clients and stuff, but I didn't feel this hunger. Like I didn't have an appetite, basically. And then when we hopped on the call and I was talking to you, and I think you got the sense that I was a little timid, and like I got this feeling that like you understood that you could truly help me, and you told me how much the deal was. I told you like, remember, like I didn't have the money. I actually didn't have the money. I wasn't making the money I wanted to with my monthly recurring revenue or any of the new acquisitions I was getting, but I don't know. I had a feeling that this was what I needed to do, and I was proven right pretty
Yeah,
quickly. I
yeah,
was proven right. Once you started acquisition, I was proven right within a month, I should say.
yeah. And also you found the money. So like even though, you were like pretty on like a tight budget, we just did like, one split payment and like you found it and yeah.
Yep.
But
I
also,
honestly that when I pressed pay invoice, I told myself this is the last time I will ever think about it. This is the last time I will ever think about it. Either this works or I'm done doing business, I'll go be an employee for the rest of my life. It's either this or the other. Either I'm paying this much and I'm not going to think about it after, just going to do the work, or I don't do this, I continue, I'm going to fail and just go back to it. And
yeah.
like, I knew I needed to make a move.
Yeah, gotcha. But like even before like, Carol like joining me, like what was your day to day were like looking like? I mean like you were trying to potentially get some clarity, but like you were still pretty unclear on what tasks you specifically have to do. So like before like even joining me, like before like finding out who I am, what were you doing to like find the clarity? Like did you find it? Like what was being lost back then looking like? And like for how long you've been trying to
Yeah.
like solve it out?
So back then, I was just going with the assumption that everyone else that goes into this field assumes, and it's that I can go into this with no experience, watch a couple YouTube videos, and figure out a way to make money. And when you go down that path, the first thing you hear is you need to run ads. So I was just running ads. I didn't really know what to offer people. The thing is, it's like my skill set, like I know what I can do, but I didn't know how to kind of put it all together. You know what I mean? And so when it comes to clarity, I had none. You're watching so many different YouTube videos from so many different people. It's like 20 voices trying to tell you
Yeah.
20 different things. Like, of course, that's never going to give you clarity. And it wasn't until I was under that, like, until I came to that realization, I should say, that I was like, I need someone who will understand me, my business, my needs, and my niche. And then that's just the mindset I had before working with you. But in terms of where I was at day to day, I didn't know what to do. Obviously, like I was getting warm leads, calling them up, talking to them here and there, but I didn't even have like an ICP to know who I should be talking to. So
Yeah.
it was just I was talking to people, right? I was talking to business owners, and like when you don't understand what you're looking at, you're thinking that's moving the needle. I'm talking to business owners. I'm having conversations, but the quality of the conversations wasn't there. The people that I did book, I feel like I booked them purely because of my personality. Maybe my offer wasn't even that enticing to them, but they all told me that they really liked working with me. And the people that I've worked with before, I'm still with them, so it's never been an issue. But in terms of new acquisitions, almost none, like week to week. So my days were looking very boring. I wasn't doing much,
And
if I'm being
for how
honest,
long
you
like
know.
you've been actually lost like this? Like when
It was
was
two
your
months.
two
Two
months?
months. It was
Yeah.
two months where I realized it, but it was probably 6 months that the problem was happening. It was just the 2 months before we spoke is when I started to realize like, oh,
Okay.
this is a fast moving train going nowhere because you're spending the money, you're putting in the mental effort into it as well. And so you're burning through all of your resources with no return, essentially.
Okay. So it was 6 months like this purely on clarity and
Yep.
burning money. Okay. Like also, what was the biggest struggle like during these 6 months? Like when you are like stuck at this zero, right? Like was it lack of the meetings, meaning like the acquisition wasn't performing, or like the confusion about the strategy, or like just like mental toll of like feeling like you were, like failing? Like what specifically like, was the biggest struggle you had?
If I'm being honest, everything.
Everything.
Everything. And it was getting more and more difficult every day to look my fiance in the eyes and think that like you're not even able to provide for yourself, let alone her. And it
Mhm.
was like that. It was
Yeah.
that realization that put me into complete panic mode, which made everything worse.
So you say this was like your emotional breaking point?
Yeah. It,
Okay,
it, it was. It was the breaking point for everything. Like I said, I didn't have more money to float the business if it wasn't gonna make if I wasn't gonna get a return on the business by the end of this year, if I had not taken any of the steps I did with you, I probably would have burned through my saved up money and the money that I'm making month over month.
so like this was the moment that you said, okay, enough is enough. Like
Yes.
I need a system, like I need a coach. So like what finally like made you pull the trigger? Was it like this specific realization that you just, were wasting time and like it's not going anywhere? Or like how was it?
I have to say that was the biggest contributing factor, definitely. But what got me to finally pull the trigger is I think it was just the fact that you seemed to know exactly what you were doing. Not in the sense of getting results or any of that. Like, obviously, that's apparently clear if anyone watches your content that you get results for your client. For me, it was like this guy has unshaking clarity. The way that you were speaking about the stuff that obviously I'm doing, you were with pinpoint accuracy talking about everything that you were doing. And I was like, I need that. I need someone to teach me how to think. Like, it's ironic as a business owner, you need someone else to teach you think, but like if I'm operating from a place of zero clarity, then I'm at rock bottom, and the only way from rock bottom is up. So I knew that this was a white glove service that you were providing. I know, like based on everything that you were saying, it's a one-on-one experience, and that for me is what mostly sold it. Is that you are going to be working with me one-on-one. I didn't know how it was going to play out, but it's played out very, very well. Just in terms of us talking, you know what I mean? Like that's already cool. Like I genuinely just love talking to you. Beyond that, I love working with you, and I don't know. I'm just so glad that all of my life circumstances led me to making that decision this year.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. So like
Of
also,
course.
what made you like take the leap of faith and like trust me specifically to like help you out with this? Was like this actual like the clarity and data proven experience? Or like how was it? Like why me specifically?
It's very difficult to say why you specifically. I don't want to say it's difficult in the sense that I didn't do my due diligence of looking into who you are, what your company does, like that. I
Yeah.
think I was at a point in time this year specifically, earlier I told you when we first met that I quit my job in January. So everything this year has
Yeah.
been like new. Everything this year has been risky. Like this year has been all of the biggest risks I've ever taken in my life, like back to back.
Yeah.
Like literally all of the biggest decisions I've ever made in my life happened this year, and they all happened back to back. So it would be easy for me to say that it was like right place, right time. I think it was more, well, I'm a very religious person, and I had been asking God for several weeks at that point to help me find clarity. And it went from me saying I need help with the business, like I need clarity on the business, I need clarity on this, I need clarity on that. And then I finally realized like I will never get clarity on anything else if I don't get clarity on myself. And then watching your videos, seeing that in Armenian, we have this word called chotki, and chotki is just someone who's like straight edge. Like there's no rough edges to them. You know what I mean? It's just straight, clean. Like when you put your hand over a surface and you look at your finger, there's no dust on it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like that, to where you can literally eat off of it. You know what I'm trying to say? It was that vibe that I got, and then our call double confirmed it. Like double, triple, quadruple confirmed that feeling that I had just from watching the content. And if it wasn't for you nudging me and saying, hey, like, I remember what I gathered from our call that this isn't a business issue, this is a pure mindset issue. And like, again, you're chotki to the point where you knew the problem that I couldn't see. You were able to pinpoint the problem that I probably was never going to realize until the business failed and I had time to reflect after, let's just say. I've been obviously thanking God every single day since that conversation. Super grateful for it.
But also note like knowing where you were, like knowing where you were emotionally. Like as you said, like biggest risk back to back. Like, what was your biggest doubt or like fear before joining my program? Was like just, yeah, how was it?
It's gonna be funny to say. I had no doubts about you,
Okay.
first and foremost. I don't even know what it was.
Why?
Like I think it was just that clarity. That
Okay.
like there's nothing I could have said to shake you off of the hill you were standing on, you know? There is gonna be no earthquake big enough to move you. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And like I'm someone who is very good gauging people in a conversation. And like when I understood that, I realized that my doubts were about me.
Mhm.
Like, okay, even if I have this person in my corner, that's gonna hold me responsible to my own goals. Do I really have it in me to see it through? The point that we talked was the most self-doubt I've ever had in my life. I literally could not see past my own self-doubt. And when you made me realize that it's literally just my self-doubt that's causing these issues, right? Along with the lack of clarity, you basically explained to me, hey, do you think that with a mindset shift and clarity on what to do, how to do it, who to do it to, that making this amount of money wouldn't be possible? And it was that question that unlocked this chest in my head, that I had locked away. And that chest to me is my own potential. You found the key that I had lost earlier this year, and you had gave it back to me. And so like the energy that I had going into focusing on the business after I quit the job has come back and in my opinion it's tripled
Yeah. But you
because now
also,
it's like,
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
No, go on, Karo.
I was gonna say it's like before where I was just telling you, oh, this isn't going right, that's not going right, this isn't going right. It was more of like you were helping me put out fires to now I'm telling you like, bro, I'm so mad I haven't made a sale in like 10 days or whatever, you know what I mean? And then I make a sale and it's so much more money than I was making with 3 deals closed the way I was doing it before. And so even that's like, okay, I know when I finally hit the baseball after striking a couple of times, I know when I hit that ball, it's always going to be a home run.
Yeah, like
And so
four or
yeah,
5 years
exactly.
lifetime value.
Yep.
Yeah. But also like would you say okay, because identity shift, like the mindset stuff is of course like helpful. But like you reckon was like mainly mindset or like actually the clarity on the systems and the potential of AI and like all of this AI infrastructure I gave you.
So if I were to like paint it out on a map, right?
Yeah.
You gave me the purest clarity I've ever had on anything. And you
But like
gave it to me for business.
okay, but okay, for business, yeah.
You gave me that clarity for my business. And then once you gave me the clarity on what I need to do for the business, the focus shifted to the middle, right? So now it's not just you developing the mindset with all the great course material that you have and these one-on-ones. Then you also gave me the clarity on the business, and then you finally centered yourself. And now I feel like we're at a place where both are developing equally and at the same time, which is another thing I thought was not possible. For me, at least, it was not possible. I can't. It's very difficult for me to multitask. But
Mhm.
when you have this level of clarity in both fields, then it's a matter of what buttons to push, when to push them, and how often to push them. So now I'm not going back and building myself up from scratch once a month. Now I'm going back and saying, okay, this is the button I need to push. This is how many times I need to push it. And this is how
Yeah.
long I need to push it for. And it's going to work. Now it's not a thing, it's no longer up to question of maybe it will, maybe it won't. It's going to work. And we have the data and how to use the data
Yeah,
to make it
exactly.
work.
Tracking
It's
and also monitoring
it's
stuff.
it's truly life changing what clarity you have provided. I think it speaks volumes that no matter who it is and what niche that they serve, you're able to provide that same level of clarity, which to me is just so impressive, so
Yeah.
impressive.
And like also with the clarity, you mean, for example, the clarity on specific systems or like,
Yeah,
yeah,
the acquisition systems are ridiculous. Like the leverage, I guess, you know what I should say? You understand that with the right system, of course, the one that you helped me build out, show me the rope. Like literally, it wasn't even that. There was one part of the system that I had a question on. And if I did, you answered it immediately, you know? Even one tiny speck of the system. If I asked a question on it, you gave me clarity on it. And you didn't just tell me, what to change and why to change it. You literally gave me a whole explanation of why it matters, and how much it matters. Like we've had so many conversations, and I realized your philosophy is this tiny tweak will result in like a 10% change. But a 10% change when you scale it out is gigantic. You know what I mean?
and also all compounds.
Yes, it really
You
does.
know, yeah,
It really
10%
does.
here, 12 here, 5 here. Like also, Karo, like what was the beginning of like your journey with my mentorship? Like what was the first thing that we actually changed, like implemented, that made you realize like, okay, like that's the correct move. That's like as you said, like that's the answer for my prayers and like what I've been looking for.
It was so scary the first couple weeks, honestly. I was like, I went back into like high school mode, locked in on the courses, taking down my notes. Like, I don't remember the last time I took down like physical notes. Um,
In
in a
years.
constant, like how do I say this? Like the notes I'm taking are consequential, right? Like the notes that I'm taking will directly impact my future and the future of my business and everything, right? And so like the every letter I'm writing was intentional. All the time I spent in front of the computer watching the courses, everything was intentional. Our one-on-one calls were super, super dialed in those first couple weeks. So number one, I was scared, but number two, I think I was scared because I was starting to realize the weight's coming off of my shoulders. For someone like me who's had to bear a lot of responsibility, like even going back to childhood, it's like almost a scary feeling to have weight being lifted off of your shoulders. And so I think I was just uncomfortable with that. But the more I started to realize it, the more like excited I was getting, the more I would say comfortable I was getting just being in my own skin. And then it wasn't until we did that sales call, the practice sales call together, where
Yeah.
I realized like everything's coming together. Once everything came together and you're like, Otto, it's time for acquisition. Within 10 days, I closed my first client.
Yeah.
And so when you ask me, was this the answer to the prayers? It was like, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I put in so much effort to learn. I put in a lot of effort to apply. And then once you've done the work and you have the clarity on how to acquire the customer, how to talk to the customer, and then how to service the customer, I don't know. I went into that meeting with them so confident that the I was just rolling with the objections.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
throw a
Yeah.
punch, dodge, objection, dodge, and then you come
Yeah.
back with your combo, and it was just amazing. Not to say that my sales calls are fights, but like it
Like
just
yeah, like we also like close like back-to-back deals, then
yes,
Vegas trip, yeah. Like also not because yes, we got in the beginning clarity on the offer, like on the whole the foundations, like the niche offer. Then like we also set up the A acquisition systems and like the whole sales process and the nurturing sequence. But like, what was the first like aha moment? Like, Dame, like was like the clarity on the offer first, like when the acquisition actually started and like it kicked in and like you got the results. Like, what was the first like? Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. So the first client that I closed, like I knew him from before we started doing business together, but we never worked together in terms of the business context. And my first aha moment was actually like outside of all the systems and everything like that, when I realized what my pitch, before the obvious sales meeting,
Mhm.
just my cold pitch to him was like basically perfect. And obviously it was what I'm offering, this what I bring to the table, but it was just the way that I was saying it. I was like, my God, was that me? It didn't feel like me. It just felt like this new person. But that like this person that's always existed underneath is finally coming out because it happened under the right circumstances, right? And that's when I just started realizing like that when I say aha, I realized, hmm, I'm naturally gifted at speaking. I don't want to say pitching, I would just say speaking in general.
Yeah.
And so when I finally didn't have to think about the systems to acquire the customers, I could just put all of my focus on actually talking with them and providing value to them. That was when I realized, oh, okay,
Mhm.
right? Like where this is actually moving the needle. This is actually working. Not only is it working, this feels so good. It feels right. And when it feels right, it makes it so much easier to just focus on the task at hand. And it's this focus that I've developed through the clarity, through the AI systems. My God, the AI systems that you showed, like obviously when I started working with you, I was doing AI before, but the way I'm leveraging them now, after how you showed me how to properly leverage AI, I didn't realize that pulling a lever could do so much.
In
When
in
when
so
you
many
have the right
places.
system, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, in so many places. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
acquisition, nurturing, offer, delivery, retention. Like also like you went from, not knowing what to do, like having done clarity, to like making the most amount of money in your life, like 10K in 30 days. Like we're just starting out, but like also what was the game changer that like actually allowed you to compress like the 6 months before of struggle into these weeks of success?
You just didn't take no for an answer, honestly. I had to go in and do the work. You can tell me however much, but if I'm not going doing the work, nothing's ever going to happen. But I think it was this idea of like, obviously, we're always going to be more compassionate to ourselves. So whenever I would feel a little tired, a little burned out, I'd be like, it's okay to rest for like 15 minutes or whatever it is. And then every single time, I'm not even joking, every single time you just randomly text me, how's the data looking on this? And I'm like,
Yeah.
you cannot, like, go back to work, bro. Go back to work, bro. And I would just go back, sit down on my computer, go through the data. And then it was like, I don't want to say it was like a chore, right? Like, I don't want to say it was a chore always going back, looking at the data and all that. Cause, like, I don't know, it's just something that I'm not used to. It's like looking, or I should say, analyzing and tracking every little bit of data. But obviously, since I'm working with you, I hired you as my coach. So, whatever coach says, you got to do it. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
would go back, look at the data, text it the data, but now I'm starting to realize obviously you want to keep track of how things are looking on my end, but I realized the point of that was to get me used to looking at data, tracking it, and actually understanding what I'm looking at and how to fix it. And so like now when I look at the data and I talk to my employee now, which is still so crazy to say,
Yeah.
I can discuss the data with my employee and we can generate insights that we then go in and make changes on. And this effect compounded to the point where week one of bringing an employee in, I was able to close a deal
Yeah.
because I was able to provide the clarity you gave me to my own employee. And
Yeah.
so at the end of our calls, when I ask him, hey, is there anything I didn't explain? Is there something you want to go over? Every single time, not a single time that he said, that like I have a question. Every question's answered. I always go through everything, make sure that everything is clear before I say another word. And that's like a skill that I picked up working with you.
Yeah. So like number one is execution. And secondly, like of course, like it's more important for me to teach you how to do certain things so you can do them by yourself. Don't just, for example,
Yeah.
giving you everything. But like you also have right now this employee, as you mentioned, like you already also closed a deal from him. But like, what would you say to someone who is saying that you can't either automate or delegate, like in 2025, 2026, in like upcoming years? Like, because you were before like doing most of the things, like almost everything yourself. And like right now you are not. You have the AI systems, team members. What would you say to someone who is saying like, man, like I can't automate or delegate?
Cuckoo. Nah, nah. I would say you're actually crazy. Like
Yeah.
you're genuinely you know what? That's mean to say. No, that's wrong.
Yeah.
You're severely uninformed. Like
Yeah.
to the person that says that, you are on a level of uninformed that's like would cause you to be considered handicapped in business. Like if you are don't understand that your business, you're
Yeah.
handicapping it, you know?
Yeah. I feel
And
you.
you know, not to say anything bad about like the word handicap, but realistically, you are allowing your business to walk in crutches when you don't understand how much you can leverage these AI systems, especially when they're leveraged from someone who can give you all of the data on their system, show it to you in front of your face, but it will never mean anything if you don't understand how much power that is for one person to wield. One person, one person can wield the power of a team of 20 salesmen, 20 setters, or whatever it is, just using AI and the clarity that these systems provide as well. Because it doesn't become of, oh, did this person talk to this person, did this text get sent out, did this email get sent out, did this reminder get sent out. You set it up, you press the button, and it happens. There's literally nothing else to think about. So again, to the person that thinks that you can't outsource a lot of this work to an AI system,
Or
you are
team members.
severely uninformed.
Yeah.
Yep, you're severely uninformed.
Yeah. Gotcha. And
And having AI systems, sorry to interrupt you, but I have to add this in. Having the AI systems in place also makes your employees more efficient,
yeah,
way
of
more
course.
efficient. Because I was
Yeah.
having my employee go in and manually track replies, and I was like, what's wrong with me? I'm literally in the AI industry. Like, let me just make a workflow for this. It took me 10 minutes to set up a workflow, and now he doesn't have to manually track replies like a kid's game. He can drag one name here, one name there, and all I have to do is go back, look at the page, and I know exactly what I'm looking at.
Exactly. Yeah. And also, like, Karo, let's talk about the celebration. Like, you hit
Let's do
10K in
it.
30 days. Like, he also went to Vegas from LA. Like, how's like this trip? Like, knowing where you were, like, even 2 months ago. Like, or like, even because also you told me that you went to Vegas even like, a few years ago. How's like, seeing where you are right now in life, in business, going to Vegas, and like, in comparison to before, or like even 2 months ago? Yeah.
It's like, you know, when you're watching a movie and they break the fourth wall to bring the audience into the movie, it's
Yeah, yeah.
like that, you know, like it's almost like the audience knew the plot of my movie, right? And by audience, I mean me and my friend, we knew the plot of our own story. So we went to Vegas or I should say last year when we went to Vegas, it was in September. It was for Alex Hormozzi's workshop. We got a bunch of tools and like new knowledge on how to make our businesses better. And before we left, it was lame that first time that we went. We were all tired from the workshop, whatever it is. We didn't get to have fun. Plus, we were low key broke. So we just played a little bit, and that's basically it. And then we told ourselves on the way home, the next time we come here, we thought we were going to come for another of Alex Hormozzi's meeting, but we went for the SEMA show instead. But we told ourselves, next time we come to Vegas, we're already going to hit that goal of 10K a month. And it just so happened, you know, that literally a week or the week of that I was going to go to Vegas, I hit my first 10K month. And so, you know, I went there, we celebrated, we didn't
Bought
do
a
too
watch.
much. Okay. Everything was under control.
Yeah.
We didn't recreate the hangover movie, but we had fun, we celebrated, and we were finally able to make a toast to our hard work and our sacrifices that we made. Because with this friend that I went to the Vegas workshop with, I went with him to the SEMA show as well. And we both quit our jobs this year. Very similar story, very similar journey. And it was just, I don't know, it was this moment of like the happy ending of the movie, you know? We hit our shot glasses, cheers. down the hatch, celebrating our 10K a month together, you
Yeah.
know? In the place where you go to celebrate. It was like it
Yeah.
was, I don't know. Like when they say last night was a movie, like that was like that trip was just a movie. It was
Yeah.
cinema, pure cinema.
Yeah, man, it's fucking crazy. Like also I said that you bought a watch, but like you actually bought two watches in Vegas. The exact
Yeah,
same. Yeah.
I bought watches too. I don't want to go too hard on the call, but
Yeah.
I bought watches. And after this last deal that I closed, when we first got started and we started to make a little bit of progress, I told you how I wanted to start taking myself, my work, and everything more seriously. You know, I work from my home office and now I'm getting a full upgrade, new system, new tables. I'm fully rearranging the room. And so now I get to be more professional. You know, I get to take my work more seriously. And like that all comes with mindset shifts as well. You know, when you have a clean, nice working environment, it'll just make you feel more inclined to do a better job too, you know? You get to wake up and you like get to look at a nice setup and all that. Not to
Yeah,
say my
yeah.
setup right now isn't nice. Like I've been upgrading my setup gradually as we've been working together, but now I get to do like a full swing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the most rewarding part for me is like before it was just a bread trail, you know, just picking little crumbs off the bread and throwing it off on the floor, you know, and so I can retrace my steps in case I make or take too big of a risk. Now it's like I can take the risk because the next hit, I know every time I get a hit on the ball, it's going to be a home run, you know?
Yeah.
That just it's confidence that you can't buy. That level of confidence is confidence that you can't buy. It's confidence that's learned, you know, and I was able to learn it through our program. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Like
It's
also not
so awesome, man.
I feel like this
So
actually
awesome.
the confidence, like the experience is like basically huge game changer, like comparing to you, like when we first hop on a call, like, a little bit under, I think, 2 months ago, like right now, like the way you're operating, the way like, your life changed, like not only in a business wise, but like even, life wise,
Yeah.
the way like you are even perceiving the world. It's like, yeah,
I was operating from a place of scarcity, you know?
yeah,
And you told me something so obvious, but someone who's stuck thinking that everything is finite, everything is limited, is operating from a place of scarcity, which I was, and it was this idea that who am I to take a piece of the pie, right?
hmm,
And you basically explained to me, hey brother, the pie is so much bigger than you think. Like it's like how can you think that your slice of the pie would even make it look like there's less pie? You know what I mean? Like the pie is so big, why would you even be afraid to take a slice of it? You know, how big is my slice going to be from this gigantic business pie? You know what I mean? It's like there's how many businesses in the world? How many do you need to hit your goal? You know, and like the number of businesses versus the number I need to hit my goals is obviously way off. And when you explain it like that, of like put a number to it and analyze it in that sense, again, going back to clarity, that just gave me so much more clarity. It's like I don't need the whole pie. I just need a small slice of this very big pie, and that's gonna make me
exactly,
very happy. Very happy.
yeah. Exactly. Like also, what are you focused on right now? Right? Because okay, the lead flow is, you know, handled, taken care of, appointment setting is taken care of. Like basically the whole front end is taken care of. Like what is your next like big goal for your AI agency?
It's a really good question. I've been thinking about that recently, actually. Because now I know that the front end works. I just need to put more input into it, do more of what already works.
Backend also
And
works.
so, yeah, backend also works. But I think the next step for me is fulfillment. I feel very happy with staying on sales and being the point of contact between clients. But I think my next goal is to just deliver a better service on top of what we're doing right now. So that's the major goal right now. I truly, besides my own success, I truly care about the success of all of my clients. Um, maybe this is a bad thing, maybe this is a good thing, but I
No.
genuinely feel stress, actual stress, when my clients say that, you know, this week it was a little weird this week, or maybe the clients this week were a little bit more abrasive, or whatever it is, or maybe it's circumstances completely outside of what I'm doing, like personal life. Like, I'm very personal with my clients. I like to know them, their stories, who they are, their families, and sometimes they'll tell me, like something's not going too good with their life. I don't need to be specific, but I feel actual stress, genuine stress, as if I'm like their
As it
cousin
should
or
be, yeah.
something. You know what I mean? And I just want to be able to do that more. And that would mean that taking a little bit of time away from me personally doing fulfillment to hiring a team that can deliver results that maybe it would take me a little bit of time to deliver, shorten the gap of between we start working together and you're banking out. So my goal right now is to just shorten that gap.
Yeah,
Obviously,
like
I work in a 4-month program with my clients, but obviously because it's me and a couple of other people doing fulfillment right now, we still get the results. It just takes a little bit longer. But my goal right now is to just shorten the gap between you sign the paper and you start making money. So my goal right now is to just shorten that gap as much as possible.
by hiring correct team and like implementing new AI stuff.
Yes. And that's another thing that you gave me clarity on. And like you yourself told me, it took you a while to find a good team member that
Yeah.
does what they say they do, number one, but also works with you well. And you helped me hire someone in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's not even someone where they're I'm a little bit iffy about them because of the SOPs that you help me craft, because of the materials that you send me, and the one-on-one calls as well of what to look out for, how to talk to them, and then once I get them on board, what to do moving forward. It's just like butter, bro. Like butter, dude. It's like you'll go to a restaurant and they give you a piece of bread and they give you butter, right? They give you all the tools to make your meal complete, put your butter on your bread, but the butter's cold. You give me the butter that's warm, I don't have to wait for it to melt a little bit so I can
You
spread on the
just
bread.
put
It's
the
like,
knife
nope.
in, bang,
Yep, exactly.
switch it.
Like you just smear it right then and there. No waiting, no nothing. I have everything I need to make a decision and a proper one too. Just a
Yeah.
proper decision.
Yeah, and also like what number like you want right now hit with your AI agency, like monetary goal. Okay, 10K 30 days goal, fine. We also have some expectations, like we have some, data proven numbers we'll
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, let's say in the next 2 months from now, meaning like, 90 days, and like then like let us say, yeah, like let us do, like firstly the 90 days.
So this is what I always like to say, that you should always aim for the moon, because when you take your shot, even if you miss the moon, you're still among the stars. But the moon in the next 90 days is 50K a month.
Yeah,
Is a
it's
month
doable.
where
Yeah,
I hit 50K. That is the moon. And honestly, I think we're gonna hit the moon this time. I like the moon target just is so more realistic. Like it's so much more realistic when you have all of this stuff like at your disposal. Like all of the clarity resources make you realize that it's not about the number, because 50K a month, $50,000, that's an arbitrary number, right? It doesn't mean anything to
yeah,
anyone until you put the meaning behind it. And so when it has the meaning behind it, that's the goal that we're shooting for. But it becomes a matter of like, how am I going to hit it? It's just like, how many leads do I need
yeah, just data.
to hit it? It's not even like how many customers, how many leads do I need? Because given the data of the conversion numbers, all this stuff, I literally have a number in my mind of leads I need to have in order to hit that goal. And that's
Yeah,
it. And that's
it's
that's the
just
most
yeah,
amazing part to me, is like I can predict how my week is gonna look based on how much input I'm putting in the system. That's the most
yeah.
I don't know. I have no words for it, as you can see. I'm stumbling.
Yeah,
It's
it
it's
just
insane.
reverse engineering the results by having
Yes.
basically data on every single component.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's like reverse engineering a goal, right? And then there's like reverse engineering it to the point where you have predictable outcomes. That's the craziest part for me.
exactly. Also like Karo, like for someone watching this right now, like who is exactly where you were like a few months ago, like lost, confused, like even praying for help. what's the one piece of advice you would give them?
So this is me speaking to that person. I know you're lost right now, and I understand that things may seem hopeless, but you have to know that life is all about risk, you know, and mitigating risk. And so if you understand that this person has the data to back up what they're saying, has talked to enough people who are saying the same things that I am today, and on top of that, wants to work with you one on one, because again, this guy's busy. He works all day, you know, and I can attest that he works all day. It's 3 a.m. I'm knocked out. I wake up and I see I got a text message from him. If you don't want to take the risk, then stop watching his videos, because the more you watch his videos and avoid finally making the decision, you're just going to end up hating yourself, because you know that this person is here and they're here to help and they're going to help. Then it just becomes you slowly and surely losing your confidence in your ability to make a decision. So, what I want to say to you is just make a decision, but know that if your decision is to work with Surge, you're never going to regret it. That's what I want to say to someone who
Appreciate
was
it.
where I was.
Appreciate it. So like
Of course.
even like if they're like on the fence like about joining the program, maybe like they are skeptical, like a lot of people nowadays been actually burned before, right? Me,
Yeah.
you, like we've been all burned.
Yeah.
Like, what would you tell them about like working with me or like the systems that I give you? Like if they're like, they know me, they've seen the content, but like they are still kind of skeptical. Is like anything you would tell them specifically?
Yeah. There's one thing I'll reveal about our personal relationship is that Serge has to tell me he's got another meeting coming up so I can stop talking. I don't know what else to say. Like they know you're gonna kill it with the systems. Like there's nothing realistically. How much evidence do you need to see of something working? How many people need to say the same thing for you to believe it? I think it boils down to the investment and then who you are as a person. And when it comes down to investment, like I said, once we turned the machine on, it took less than 10 days and I made all the money back that I spent on our
Yeah.
program. So the money's no longer an issue. I think it's just going to be what it boils down to in terms of your personality. So that's why I'm saying you got to tell me to stop talking so you can go, you know? And like you want to know what they're going through. You want to talk to these people because it's not just a business thing, it's who they are as a person, right? And so my thing is you're going to get the systems that are going to make you money. You're going to get the clarity that's going to help you develop your confidence. If it boils down to an investment, know that you're going to make your money back in less than the amount of time that Search tells you you're going to make it back. Because you said you're going to make it back within 2 months, no problem. I made it back in 10 days. It's literally one deal, one deal, and I made all the money back in a lot less time than you said I would, which
Yeah.
was crazy. On top of that, I genuinely love talking to you as a person, and I think that anyone who works with you will is also going to say the same thing. I have yet to see anything pointing me in the opposite direction, and I know it's not going to happen because at the end of the day, you're just honest. And I think that's the most important thing, the pure honesty. Serge has nothing to hide. Like if he has something to say, he's gonna tell it to you on the call. And if he sees that he gave you the systems, he's putting in time on his end, texting you at 5 in the morning when he knows you're knocked out. He's still texting you. He knows you're gonna see it when you wake up. If you don't respond to him, he's gonna make sure you respond to him. And so at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it boils down to how ready are you to make money? How ready are you to make a decision and finally start living your life the way that you want it and on your terms? I'm at the point right now where I don't accept anything less than what I want. And that was the confidence that I developed in 2 months working with you, to where it's not reasonable for me to assume that I won't get what I want if I don't put in the work with the right systems. Now I know what I want and I'm going to get it. So anyone who knows what they want, they just have to talk to you to get it.
Yeah, gotcha. So
Enough said.
man, like you name it, I feel like you gave the best things about like our partnership. Like, what's the worst thing about my program? Like about me?
That you're on the other side of the planet, and I can't buy you a beer. That's the worst part of it. No, I'm being serious.
Sorry.
But the worst part of it is that I actually can't kick it with you in person. That's the worst part of it for me.
Oh,
I would love to have you in front of my face and we just have a beer and just talk, man. Like that's the only bad part of the program is that I can't buy you a beer.
hey, man, I appreciate it.
To me,
Yeah,
that's the worst part of the program. Besides that, I would be lying if I say anything else.
gotcha. So like also, Karo, like where people in your niche can find you, like what are you doing specifically for them, what they can expect, like what systems are you implementing for them?
So people can find me on either Instagram or YouTube, and
We'll like
the reason
also
why I
link down
chose,
your
yeah,
IG
go ahead.
on in the we'll also link down your IG in the description.
Perfect, perfect. So they can find me on Instagram and YouTube, and the reason why I chose those platforms is because I'm able to talk to people on there, you know? I truly do look for feedback in my YouTube comments and my Instagram comments, my DMs, and obviously everything's funneled together. So people will go from my YouTube to my Instagram, from Instagram to YouTube. It's great. I love the little community I've been building up, like on my back end that no one else gets to see. People just ask me questions. Um, great feedback on certain topics that people want more clarity on, and it's just amazing being able to help businesses tackle small problems one at a time until they feel confident enough to join my program. At the moment again, because of the systems that you've helped me create, the clarity that you've provided with me, I've had enough time now to help up and coming entrepreneurs integrate one small changes into their businesses. And so far, it's been looking great. These are entrepreneurs that are fresh out of high school. They found my page. I could tell they were a little intimidated to ask me if I could help them with something, but to me, it's rewarding to help people no matter what. So, of course, I help them out, and it's been a great experience. Very grateful. They've seen massive changes just from the little tweaks that I've been helping them on Meta. But on the grander scale, all of my solutions are customized, and it depends on the problem that the business is having. One thing that you helped me clarify immensely is the ethics side of business as well. And I always knew that played an important role, but you helped me clarify how important the ethical side of things actually is. And you explained to me that ethically, your goal is to help as many businesses as possible with their problems. Obviously, I'm not going to sit there and tell a business owner you need everything when in reality, they need one thing. And when you fix that one thing and the business starts booming, they're happy, they can bring on more employees, everything's looking good, you feel good too knowing that you fixed the actual problem of the business, and you don't have to struggle with sleeping at night knowing that, oh, I'm doing this but maybe they didn't need that, whatever. I know exactly what the business needs because of the systems and the clarity. The business owners know exactly how I'm going to help them, which makes our relationship that much better. And on top of that, when you understand what I'm going to do for you and what you need me to do for you, it makes everything so much better. They get results much faster. We have a way better time talking and developing our personal relationship along with the business relationship. And it helps them run their business way more efficiently and smoothly. And so I talked to you about this. This was the first time I had ever gotten a text like this. One of my customers said he's planning his first vacation in the last 2 years.
Yeah,
That to me was like, my God, like this is such rewarding work to be able to look at this and be like, wow, like I didn't just make a difference in this guy's business, I made a difference in his life and his family's life. And so just what is it called? The butterfly effect, right? When one thing happens, it ripples, the effects ripple outside of it. It was like that, where it was like because of one change that you helped me make in myself, my mindset, and the business, it rippled out to helping my life personally in general, then helping the business in general. Now it's extended to my customers having a way more rewarding experience because of the service I'm able to provide them. And all of that came through realizing what needs to be done and when it needs to be done with clarity.
gotcha. But like, even in your AI agency in the automotive niche, like what delivery you are doing for them specifically? Like I know, the ads, automations, but like,
Yeah, for
how it
sure,
works.
for sure. So with delivery specifically, it kind of boils down to what the issue is. So when I talk to these business owners, we have to come to a realization that there is a gap in one part of the business, right? Whether it be traffic, nurturing, or closing, we have to identify which issue it is and then deliver accordingly. So it could look like a number of things, right? It could be purely Google advertisements. It could be purely Meta advertisements. It could either also just be pure business development and
Yeah.
having proper systems in place, along with having a AI help them out with it. Because the vast majority of owners in the automotive space are very burned out. And it wasn't until I was able to leverage my AI system into their business that I was able to provide space and energy to these business owners so they could actually focus on adding more to the business instead of taking themselves away from it. And so once all of those deliverables are combined, the stuff I've noticed in these business owners is tremendous. They have more energy. They have more time to spend on the business and with their family. Of course, they're making more money. A lot of them have started bringing on employees and giving them more and more responsibility. But I would say the biggest thing that I delivered to customers is peace of mind. I would say that's the biggest delivery. Of course, all the systems are great. You can go into it and explain exactly what we do and how we do it. But I think that the bottom line is the peace of mind that all of my clients have of knowing that they're going to make money, of knowing that they just need to push a button and everything's going to
Yeah.
work. On top of that, they don't have to worry about learning anything new on besides just how to log in and what to look at. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything else, we handle it for them. The team does the whatever I don't do, right? So we handle everything day one. We get you onboarded as quickly as possible, create all the automations, create all of your ads, and then we start working on branding because that's another thing that I've realized is severely lacking in the automotive space is branding. The world needs to hear your voice, your vision, and what your company provides to the world. And the only way you can do that is branding. And so that's another thing I've been focusing on very heavily and I've added into my suite of services is going very heavy on branding. And I've realized that branding is a huge lever for automotive businesses
Yeah.
because so the clients that I've talked to, they have the cleanest front facing Instagram and Facebook profiles. On top of that, they have the highest perceived value for all of their services as well. So where I live in LA is where I partnered with the first client after we started the acquisition system. LA, you know how it is, ultra competitive market. Everything is competitive here, you know? You open up a business, 2 weeks later, you're gonna have the same exact business opening up across the street from you. And what I've realized is going heavy on the branding along with the nurturing systems, the AI nurturing systems, I should say, that I developed for the businesses. You have a competitive edge that no one else will ever see. Obviously, they'll see the branding and all that other stuff, but they can't recreate it because
Yeah.
they don't understand the vision of their own company to create it. And so
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
very big competitive advantage. Huge, I would say.
Yeah, like everyone can copy the front end, but like not everyone can copy the back end. Like
Yes.
and like the peace of mind comes, yes, from these systems, meaning like when they have AI chatbot, like AI called agent answering the
Yep.
phones and booking in, and the traffic, it just yeah, it all makes sense. But yeah, Caro, any final words to the brother behind the camera, to me, to the world, to you? How is it?
I'd have to say my final words would be you will never understand how much pain you are in until someone else clarifies it. Because whether it's an inner voice, an inner thought, or just a really good friend, or someone who's sitting on the other side of the world, God works through people and he works through you. And so I would say understand that you are an instrument for good and an instrument for change in the world, and so are the people around you. And so when you're faced with overwhelming data that shows you that you are going to hit the result that you desire to hit, I would say zoom out the graph and realize what's going on, right? It wasn't until I zoomed out the graph and realized, hey, if I work with Serge, I'm not only taking a bet on him, I'm taking a bet on myself. And I think when you put it into that context, that you just need to bet all of your chips on yourself. And with that will come the people who will help you get there. You're always going to hit it big. Always. This was the first time in my life that I truly sat down and bet on myself. knowing that this is all in. If I lose this hand, I'm out of the game. And so it was with that level of like the consequences were that high. It made the all-in hand feel real for the first time. And so you want your life and your decisions to feel real. So might as well just go all in. Just go all in. You and your business deserve nothing less than for you to go all in.
I
Those are my
agree.
final words.
I agree. Man, Karo, 0 to 10K in 30 days. Right now we are hitting 50K in 90. Maybe we'll record another video. Then it will be potentially in person. We will,
Yeah.
fly out somewhere and fucking
Meet up on a
record a
yacht
blast.
and do the interview on the yacht.
Yeah,
I'll do
we
the
will do a
interview on
blast.
the yacht.
We'll do a blast, man. But yeah, Karo, appreciate you very much. To every single
Of
brother behind
course.
the camera, you can reach out to Karo. You will have everything in the description of this video. So yeah, if you're automotive shop or like also need help with anything, you have Karo always. So yeah.
And if you're a business owner that's still on the fence about working with Surge, please DM me personally and we can talk about it.
Okay. So yeah, that's it, Karo. Pleasure. And yeah,
Of course. It's always a pleasure, man. It's always a pleasure. Anytime you're like, hey Otto, let's hop on a meeting, schedule's cleared. We're talking to Surge. Doesn't matter who's calling me, doesn't matter who's texting me. We're locked in on these meetings. I'm talking to the man himself, Serge. Anything that we
come
talk
on.
on the calls, I know I'm going to take it back with me, implement it into the business, and make that much more money. Or if it's personal, I'm going to apply it to my personal life. No matter what I do, no matter what sauce you share with me, I apply it to anything, I get ROI. Bang.
Boom. All right, man.
So